is 25. He moved to the US last year for a master's in industrial engineering. He doesn't want us to use his full name, so we'll call him AA. The job market wasn't great when he graduated in May of this year, but he managed to land a job at a public agency in Boston. He planned to pay off his loans, buy a house, settle down. Then, on September 19th, US President Trump dropped a bombshell: a $100,000 fee on every new H1-B visa.
After that, when this news last week came out that 100K fee applies to everyone, obviously the first thought was that it's over. I mean, you finish your 3 years and you have to go back home. It's like uprooting the life that you've been making over here, and you've been working really hard. You've put down such a huge investment. Obviously, now is the time that you want to reap those benefits, but you can't because the government won't let you stay.
My name is Kudrat Vadva and you're listening to The Signal Brief. We don't do hot takes. Instead, we bring you deep dives into the how and why of consumer trends. Today, we learn about what's in store for Indians wanting to immigrate to the US. Does Trump's second presidency spell doom for their American dream? In the 90s and 2000s, Silicon Valley was booming, and the US needed talent to keep up. In 1990, the US Congress, that's basically India's parliament, passed the Immigration Act. This created the H1-B specialty occupation visa and set numerical caps on it. The official line: America didn't have enough engineers and coders to stay competitive. The H1-B visa allowed many smart and talented people to build their careers in the US. Some popular Indians who've had the visa before are Satya Nadella of Microsoft and Sundar Pichai of Google. That visa turned dreamers into coders and coders into CEOs. No doubt the H1-B brought top international talent to American firms. But since the program's inception, it's also received criticism from many. Some say that this shortage of STEM workers never existed. Others say it's long over. Critics say that it's now a way for companies to replace US workers with cheaper foreign labor. Reporting backs this as well. In 2015, the New York Times uncovered how Disney laid off hundreds of IT staff and even asked some to train the very people replacing them. The replacements worked for contractors that brought in H1-B visa holders from countries like India. The H1-B story isn't simple for workers either. On the one hand, it allows people from middle-class families from places like India to make their futures in the US. We've all heard of stories of people who took loans to get a master's in, say, computer science in the US. Then they studied hard, landed a good job. A few years later, they've already cleared their loans, bought a house, maybe a car, and are now sending money home. This vision of the American dream is also what attracted AA to go to the US. He said that in India, people with the same capabilities earn a lot less than those in America.
It was just the sheer quality of life that, you get to see. It's something that you see in the movies and, you get tempted that, oh my God, I want to live that kind of life.
When people like AA go to the US and work there, they earn for themselves, yes, but then they also send money back home. India tops the world in remittances. Nearly 28% comes from the US, about $34 billion of the $129 billion total. Ending the H1-B could have disastrous consequences for those remittances. In fact, a recent report by Barclays warns that the $100,000 fee could shave off nearly $5 billion. Not catastrophic, yes, but not nothing either. Even so, Indians like AA are unhappy with this new proclamation and with the uncertainty it brings. AA was waiting for his employer to file his H1B application. Now, the employer says that they cannot afford the fee. AA says that he's waiting and watching right now, hopeful that someone challenges this rule in a court of law. Not all those on H1B love the experience either. You see, people on the visa are tied to their employer, since it's the employer who filed their petition. Lose your job and the clock starts ticking. You get 60 days to find another job or leave the country. The signal brief spoke to Rahul as well, who moved back to India from the Bay Area in the US last month. He went there for a master's in 2020 and later worked at Amazon for 3 years. He said that he felt deeply exploited while on the visa.
Because H1B people can be exploited to a level that you have to work 24/7. You have to be like on call no matter what you do. I remember when I joined my first team in Amazon, there was this senior engineer who was online 24/7. Like basically, you message him at 2 in the night, he will work. In one of my one on ones with my manager, I told her that hey, I cannot work every day until 8 p.m. or it's not like I cannot do 12, 13 hours every day. And the same week, I get a message from her that, hey, is your visa renewed? Is it up for renewal? So you are reminded that you are at our mercy in this country. So you have to do what we want. That's what triggered me. I noticed this pattern in my company.
This year, during a trip home for Holi, something clicked. Rahul realized that he did not move halfway across the world to be changed to a company. So he decided to return to India. When Rahul told his circle that he's going to move back, his Indian friends were shocked. How could you let go of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? They asked him. But his American friends supported his decision. They said that America's climate was turning hostile and maybe he'd be better off in India. His friends were referring to US President Trump's broader pro-American agenda. Trump's allies have long slammed the H1B as a job stealer, and some worry that this administration could crack down on the program further. In his first term, Trump tightened the H1B program with his 2017 Buy American, Hire American order. That was a move that raised the denials and narrowed the rules. His team pushed wage-based prioritization, raised compliance checks, and even froze new visas in 2020. The result? A program tougher, riskier, and far less predictable. And then this month, Trump doubled down, slapping the $100,000 fee on new H1B visa applications. Already, 2024 saw a record F1 denial rate of 41%. In March to May 2025, F1 issuances to Indians fell 27% year on year. The signal brief covered F1 visas some time ago. I'll link the episode in the show notes below. Applicants told me that officers grilled them harder than ever this year. One applicant even said that the officer interviewing him went to his social media and checked his likes. The next day, the consulate denied his visa, though they said he could reapply. So what's really going on at these consulates? I reached out to immigration lawyer Gnanamukhan to learn more.
At the outset, it looks like it is a dull affair. If student visa applications, they are not able to secure any visa interview dates. And it's pretty difficult for them to get the interview dates. And even if they have the interview dates, technically the visa rejection is on the higher side. The latest proclamation that recently came on 19th of September, that is kind of put all the people on H1B employers or the visa holders on a panic mode and chaos.
Gnanamukhan says that it's not as if people aren't getting visas altogether. He's had multiple clients get both the H1B and the F1. That's a student visa. So people should make sure that their applications are squeaky clean.
And whenever they apply for a visa interview, they have to make sure that they have the best presentation on their first visa application. Because if they fail to make the best impression on the first interview, and if the visa is refused, we have a chance of securing another interview date within less than 6 months. So they have to calm down. They have to be very, very careful in the choice of words. how they present their application. If they do that, I think we still have people who are securing visas. The visas are being approved. It's not like everyone is getting a refusal. So they have to kind of be very calm and composed when they attend the visa interviews.
If you're still applying, go the extra mile. Perfect your paperwork, stay calm, and be ready. You might also want to look into alternative visas, like the O1 or even the J1. The Signal Brief spoke to Nicole Gunara, an immigration lawyer at Manifest Law based in the US. She told me that the Trump administration has made it clear that they only want the best of the best in their country.
Definitely looking at alternative plans and not relying on the H1-B is the biggest thing that I can tell every single person, whether they're a student or they're already on the H1-B. And primarily because what we saw during this evolving situation was a key vulnerability. The reality is that there is a whole alphabet soup of visas that are out there. And actually, the government has clearly pinpointed what they're trying to prioritize, which is the concept of extraordinary ability. They've also focused on the best of researchers, the best of scientists, right? And there are other visas that cater to that, like the O1 visa or even the J1 visa for research scholars and specialists, right? I do think that people should be actively looking at these other visas and preparing for them, because even if someone isn't feeling like they're already extraordinary to get to that level, right? Especially when you're a student, there's a lot of things that you can do and cultivate to get to that point before you run out of time.
Even if you get the visa, it's not like you're done waiting. Getting a green card could take decades for Indians. So, their future in the US is never certain.
I'm no longer happy with the uncertainty, and it's definitely not a place where you want to see your future, right? I mean, you can't look into future. I mean, for example, I see my friends in India buying houses or something, settling down. Whereas I cannot even buy a house because I don't know if I'm in this country. I cannot invest into a retirement plan because I don't know if I'm going to be in this country. So those kind of options really make you wonder that how long am I going to be in this uncertainty, whether I'm here or there. It's like being in two boats at the same time. So I feel like, yeah, now it's definitely taking a toll.
AA now tells others, don't go to the US.
Definitely not. If anyone wants to come to US, now is not the time. You have to wait out for another 3 years until this administration's over at least. Or you just have to wait out until things, are more calmer. You're going to put down that kind of money. You're not going to be able to earn it back because the job market is honestly so bad that none of the companies want to hire you. So you can imagine that the market is so bad. And now that this whole 100K fee has come into the place, I feel like there's a huge disadvantage to international students. And even if jobs are out there, it's highly unlikely that a company would be okay hiring an international candidate.
The American dream isn't dead for Indians, but it is changing. For decades, it meant going to the US, working hard, and eventually building a life there. Today, it looks far less certain. Visa hurdles, unpredictable politics, and the cost of migration have turned what was once a clear path into a gamble. Some people, like AA, feel the risk no longer makes sense. Others still believe the US is worth the fight. Either way, the question is no longer whether Indians can go to America. It's whether the dream is still worth chasing. That's all for today. You just heard the Signal Brief. We don't do hot takes. Instead, we bring you deep dives into the how and why of consumer trends. The Core produces the Signal Brief. Follow us wherever you get your favorite podcasts. To check out the rest of our work, go to www.thecore.in. If you have feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Write to us at feedback@thecore.in, or you can write me personally at kudrat@thecore.in. Thank you for listening.